Well, it's all come down to this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the finals of Evie's Winter Classic Week 2. My name is Rain Day, and I'm joined here by Hi-Rez Pretty Hair today, and we are ready to get into the action of the finals. Now, without further ado, let's start breaking down the teams. Astral Authority versus Xenosy. Who do you give the edge to moving into this?
I gotta go. You know, we gave the edge to Vertu in the previous series because we'd seen them play before. But Xenosy came through and gave him the what for here. The thing, I don't want to give to anyone, the edge to anyone just yet. I just want to see some Bomb King.
And do you think that'll come out? I mean, both teams have utilized a little bit of Evie. I think Fernando was more of the telling story in the Xenosy's,
which is going to be really interesting because of the propensity we've seen for Makoa to be picked up.
That's true. And so Makoa, whether you're playing well on Astral Authority, Supersully is there. Let's head to the maps and see exactly where we'll be playing this set.
Jaguar Falls. So Timbermill, Iceman's banned out. All pretty standard stuff. Xenosy banning out the Ice Mines this time, despite winning on it, I think, pretty convincingly in their previous set.
And it may just be that they don't think the strategy will work here. Maybe it's kind of a one-time thing they feel pretty confident about.
Well, something I just remembered is Fabri. Very comfortable.
Oh, that's right.
Ice
Excuse
Mines.
me. Astral Authority, that is very, very important. They almost invented that strat, it seems like, in the Challenger circuit. So they don't want to use it on Astral Authority. It's kind of like son coming up to daddy and saying, let me show you how to do this. I still got a few years on you, boy. Let's move into the champion draft and see who is elected to be played here in this highly contested, very interesting finals between Astral Authority and Xenosy. We've seen Evie, Makoa, Bomb King, Fernando, all of these players, all these champions we've been thinking about, and there it is. The first answer, Makoa, first picked by Supersully on Astral Authority.
Yeah, they're going to continue to go with what they know. So Xenosy seeing this, will they pick up the Fernando? They do here. So maybe as the game progresses, they might try to test this and take Fernando later and later in the draft to see what Astral Authority pick up, when they pick it up, if at all.
When we know Astral Authority have such strong carries. You're talking about iDropBodies, you're talking about Madman, you're talking about Evulli. All of these players can do so much damage that they seem to prioritize less of the tanking, more of the individual 1v1, we're gonna kill you. And they leave bodies and Droxus on the table. And Evulli, who's played Evie very well, he took it away from Assets when he played against Vertu, is now probably going to be on that Evie here.
So the Barrack picked up. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ying accompany this Tooney. Gonna get his Cassie. No, it will be the Drogos picked up. This has always been a very high impact, especially on the tanks. The thing, though, is I expect the Dragon Punch always to be coming for Supersully here, but I expect Astral Authority, especially on this Evie, on this Shaolin, on this Androxus, to be able to punish him for Dragon Punching their tank. You know, Supersully is gonna be able to get back to the safety of his team. In Europe, we talked about it. We saw it a lot yesterday. Every time that Drogos went in for a Dragon Punch, he traded his life for it.
That's right. And now we see this crazy strategy again come out, Ruckus being selected. But if anything, this is, I think, a decent time to pick him up. Buck and Shaolin followed on Astral Authority to mention on the side, but Ruckus, he is going to be the talking point. He's the champion. He's had almost no consistency in being effective in the champion circuit, the challenger circuit, or Evie's Winter Classic, and it's going to be incredible to see Tooney on this of all people.
Wow, so Tooney going to be giving the Cassie up to KingPac there. Shoutouts to the Star Slayer skin on the Ruckus. So
this is hot.
The reason why I would imagine they picked this up is because Evie and Buck, these flankers don't do super great against the clumped up composition here on the point, but we've seen Evulli picking up this wrecker here. He's able to play that long range artillery style Evie, and Evie just such a difficult, she has her weaknesses, but she's such a difficult character to counter outright. Going with the quad wrecker setup, there is no healer on the side of Xenosy here, so sustain gonna be a big issue across that team.
And on this map, there are a lot of closed off spaces, a lot of easy line of sights to where if you're going to fire on someone, you've got to be willing to be fired on. And that is what Ruckus is going to look to take advantage of. Tooney is hitting a few shots. He's going to get onto the field and pop his repulsor field, but he's going to get pulled off by Sully, but the damage is too much. And Bodies, what a reversal. This could do it, and he is going to take him down. Bodies with a double kill, carrying his team thus far. Bodies still alive, looking for more. He wants to take down the Cassie. He will not do it. KingPac follows up strong, and 36% and counting now. Advantage, Xenosy.
Wow, looking strong here, making a statement against Astral Authority, the current leaders in the Evie's Winter Classic. 33% to now climbing north of 75. All these turrets set up. Could be a problem, but Evulli gets in there and takes Exalotus down early. KingPac in the back line has a couple of low HP targets he's looking to clean up on here. This could go either way. Everyone is so low and there is no sustain on either team.
KingPac has been so dominant here. He has allowed his team to get into this fight and win. 99% is all they need. One more percent will do it. They're at the precipice of capturing the first objective with no ultimates used except now Cassie going in with the reveal, and that just shows you how much KingPac has been hitting enemies, but it doesn't matter because he gets dropped by the none other Madman here, and Bodies goes on with him. The duo queuing up and taking out Exalotus too, and now 72%. This could be Astral Authority's zone to win.
Yeah, they have the man here to move, and
Oh boy.
No, Cacanuck falls.
Oh boy.
Evulli, Madman gets a kill on a tinyFetus. PowTecH finds Exalotus and Astral Authority, saying we're the top dogs for a reason. We ain't out of this yet.
Oh boy.
Evulli finding the back line snipes.
Craigasm, boys, Craigasm. Evulli is back in action, and the Evie or the Bomb King, it doesn't matter because he's just going in deep. Either way, this man is carrying the game, and he is helping Astral Authority to assert their authority over Xenosy despite early aggressive action taken by the boys of the Fernando, the Cassie. They got it going on, man, but it's just giving up too much for this Evie master.
Bro, dropping down again, what seems like for nothing. Cacanuck falling in 2 clutch engagements, giving Astral Authority a lot of room to work. The Dragon Punch is charged here. That could come out. See the hook paying a lot of dividends there. Exalotus so vulnerable to that. Evulli blinking into a fire spit there. Just gonna soar through, drop the ice storm to cover his escape, but he will be taken out by tinyFetus.
He gets a double kill for that. Sully and Madman and Bodies are going to clean things up, though. Madman with the Shaolin, looking really strong. He's going to hold it because it's going to keep him in combat. Every time he holds that bow, he's going to eventually get himself back in combat once it releases, whether he shoots anything at all, even if it's just a wall. So he's got to be careful about walking fully drawn, and that's it. He's fought low health that entire fight, and he goes down, and now all of a sudden, Xenosy are back in command, and Evulli, Madman, and Bodies are going to have to fall back and wait for their teammates to be able to pressure this. But 50 seconds on the clock, they got a chance to do it.
Yeah, that is plenty of time, like you mentioned here. Ancient Rage is almost up. Buck Wild is up. Ice Storm has been used twice. Evulli finding a lot of damage and a lot of kills on this Evie. The Heat Wave is ready to go. The Cursed Arm might not be up in time, but all the respawns are here. Falling lower and lower is PowTecH. He's the first to take a tumble.
And now Ruckus, he's in the middle of it. He's going to advance forward, but Evulli, he's going to draw back. He's going to try and get over the ledge, and he does with 87 health. Pull himself out of the fight along with Madman. And KingPac and the boys of Xenosy are zoning out well, and it looks like they have quelled the revolt for now. And although Evulli will attempt to, KingPac will shut him down, shut chat down, and say, hey, hold on. I got something to be talked about here.
I got a pog champ for your Craigasm.
I got a pog champ for your Craigasm there, KingPac with the snipes, and he's just continuing to go in, man. He is the one right now, I think, that is the difference maker for for Xenosy.
Yep, so all things gonna be tied up here now. Astral Authority will see what the items they elect to go for. We got a couple of killed heals and a couple of Master Ridings here to combat the Master Riding 2 that Supersully has been picked up. And this is going to be good for Barrack to help him get set up, as well as Tooney on the Ruckus. Very important that Ruckus already be on the point and already be spun up when his enemies round the corner. But the Wrecker pressure is going to start stacking up an insane amount for Astral Authority. Wrecker 2 on Evulli's Evie. Record 2 on Madman's Shaolin. Record 2 on everyone except Supersully's Makoa.
It's a quick pause. We'll be right back in the game, but you mentioned the item advantage that's going on. That's a lot of credits already in the bank for Astral Authority, and being able to, be so successful with Evulli out of there. They started off a little shaky though, and it seems like Xenosy has the ability to challenge them in these fights. It's not like we just saw a snowball, and I think that's telling for the series moving forward. Yeah,
KingPac definitely has what it takes on this Cassie, but I think as these records start to come online, which they're already hitting those level 2 strides, and it's a 1-1. This is going to be a long game if this first round has told us anything. And these records are really going to start to make the impact that Fernando and Ruckus and Barrack have much less on this game. It was a lot tighter in the first round when all those shields are holding for a long time. There's a safe haven for you to come to if you got low health. That's just not going to be the case as we progress through this game.
Yeah, and Tooney, despite the fact that Wreckers are going to be effective on Ruckus, has shown that he can get himself in the right spot. This isn't the worst Ruckus performances we've ever seen. No. We've seen some very, talk about he's a tank. We've seen some Ruckuses tank in terms of their performances when they get out here in the competitive scene. But he's keeping it there. He's doing the right things that he needs to do. He's not got a lot of pressure on him, thanks to Barrack and Fernando, but he is being able to be a support tank. Now, given Fernando being such a big pick, and Makoa being such a big pick for Astral Authority, are we seeing that Fernando have that same impact as we did on Ice Mines and on the previous set when Xenosy was facing off?
Definitely not on Ice Mines. Fernando is very, very well for himself on that map, but Cacanuck had a couple of strange, almost pointless deaths, I would say, where he was just there by himself. He charged the payload once almost entirely by himself, found himself dead and dusted very quickly here. One thing that doesn't get affected by Wrecker, though, is going to be Ruckus's emitter field, where he is able to just put raw damage mitigation on his team, 50%. I think Ruckus's cooldown management is kind of, I think, what separates a good Ruckus from a bad Ruckus. You get in there, you left click, everybody can do that. But knowing the right time to pop that mitigation is what's going to be effective. When those shields start dropping quicker and quicker, if they can utilize all of that mitigation from Ruckus, it might be just enough to swing the team fight in their favor.
The mitigation not only coming out from his repulsor field, which lasts for 3 seconds, which you mentioned, the timing is important because, that's like right when the Accursed Arm starts, you have that pretty much that length to be able to use it. If you use it a little too before, you'll still take most of that damage, or you can cut that in half. But not only that, his emitter usage as well. It's a great bait. It's not the greatest bait in the game, but it is a really good bait. Now, Wrecker will deal with that.
It's going to get punished pretty hard by Wrecker.
But in terms of that, the lack of cauterize that may come forward due to that is something that, do you think is going to weigh in their favor or not?
I don't think the sustain from the emitter shield is going to be weighty enough to even warrant this cauterize 1 here from Supersully. I think the Wreckers are going to deal with it just fine. And we'll have to see just that, if that is the case. A lot of Haven starting to come out from Xenosy. Well, that's going to be a lot of damage mitigation. When these get to the level 3 level, that's going to be 30% on top of the Ruckus, who's providing 50%. That is going to be tough to break.
And that's going to be late game for them. So that's where they want to get. And with these strong defensives, they are going down that path swimmingly. And so now it's all up to Supersully to play like a superhero again. He needs one big hook. He's looking for Tooney on the side, and I love Tooney's patience here. He's waiting for Fernando to take the brunt of it. They can alternate this because they know Barrack can come in after Fernando gets bursted down, but Makoa is getting bursted more than anyone. The big guns have come out, and Tooney with the Exafire. They don't see Sully, but now they finally do, and Tooney with a double kill is going to take him out, but Evulli from long range is going to do it. A storm from ice will come and select him. He's going to get a double kill. Is he going to get a triple kill? Evulli, oh my God, single-handedly keeping his team in this game.
Oh my God, that is the impact an Evie can have on a fight. Not just an Evie, but Evulli's Evie. Just really single-handedly, like you said, winning that team fight, keeping his team in the running. Now 63% to 39%. That could have been a very different story had Evulli not stepped up.
And this is all bodies now. He knows that Evulli took the brunt of that, and he's going to take the brunt of Ruckus's damage, and he's going to reversal it back in his face. And Cacanuck is left wondering where to go, but KingPac, like we mentioned, the consistent, the solid Cassie player coming in just when his team thought that they were at a defeat. obviously, KingPac comes in to help settle the score at 78% and counting, with a very good zone coming forward from Xenosy to potentially take the lead in this game.
They need to move out quickly as Xenosy are at 96% to 87 on Astral Authority. Madman gets the first kill of this fight. Supersully, the next to fall. Overtime is ticking through. Is there anyone to contest this? The Dragon Spit says no. KingPac says no. The Scout says no. Evulli is here trying to do what he can, sending it in, wormholing back, but the charge from Cacanuck is going to send him to a grave.
KingPac on a 5 streak right now, and this is gonna be Xenosy's point. I don't think Sully can shell spin or mount fast enough to be able to get it with the overtime counter we saw. It had already moved down to 0. So let's break that fight down. That was exciting to see. Evulli with the incredible plays already. Just a triple kill by himself after it seemed like no hope was left for his team. But then all of a sudden, with Astral Authority taking such authority of the fight, KingPac comes in and gets these consistent, solid shots with Cassie and evens things back up. This is neck and neck.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Bodies got 2 kills there. He looked like he got excited. He nether stepped out, and unfortunately, I think with the adrenaline of that moment, he missed 5 shots in a row on 2 low health targets. KingPac comes in from behind, cleans him up, and swings things back in favor. So really a lot of star power between KingPac and Evulli trying to throw their weight around, trying to get things going for their teams right now. We're all tied up 1-1, but it looks like they're about to capture the point.
And that would mean that Xenosy would go ahead versus Astral Authority for the first time in this set, in this game. Of course, it is game 1 of the finals, so there's not much that's happened before if you're just joining us. Astral Authority and Xenosy are heading to each other and it's like 2 battering rams butting against one another. One gets the edge for 1 moment, 1 millisecond, and the other answers right back to keep things even. And it has just been an absolute show of incredible plays going back and forth between both of these teams. But who's going to get the better edge? That's what I want to know. Evulli seems to be showing up at the wrong times, not when the main fight happens, a little bit late. If he could do that with his team,
it seems like it's tough though, because as an Evie, you kind of have to play cleanup a lot of times. It's tough for an Evie to get in there without the Ice Storm available. We've seen when he did have the Ice Storm available, he was able to get in there, mix it up, find the triple kill. But when he's just that 1800 HP Evie, it's tough to get in the mix with a Fernando, a Ruckus, and a Barrack and try and find these kills.
I'm impressed that Sully was able to get that overtime extended, but it is going to be to no avail, and he will fall down as well as the rest of Astral Authority. 1 point to Xenosy. And so what a incredible comeback this team has made, and what a show that they are putting on. tinyFetus looking to get out of here. A Fire Spit will do quite a bit of damage. iDropBodies anticipates the charge and the damage from Fernando, and he's going to have to get out of there, though. Doesn't hit the reversal, and so he does not get the cooldown reset of his nether step, which would have allowed him to dash away to safety.
Xenosy not able to kind of get this push going just yet here. Both emitter and repulsor field popped for the Ruckus. Supersully getting chewed through right now. KingPac is hot on his trail, helping get his team moving again. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. Here comes the Dragon Punch to try and keep the momentum rolling.
Oh, and then Evie with an ice block of Evulli, just cleverly, casually, expertly dealing with the threat there. That ice block is going to give her complete immunity, and that's one of the things that makes her so strong, so great. And of course, it doesn't take away from the real danger, which is her mobility and damage combined with that. But Tooney's going to go down. Speaking of damage, Bodies will deal some, but there's 2 really low. And Sully, what peel to keep them alive for just a moment. Can Bodies turn this around? Will Sully do the deed? Bodies can, and that was amazing by Supersully, peeling for 2 low targets who surely would have been cleaned up by Barrack. Now Barrack only gets 1, and he dies himself, and Sully is back full health with 50 seconds left to defend.
Ancient Rage available. Big hook out of the sky and punished. tinyFetus being sent back to base by Supersully and the boys. Evulli gets into the backline, takes out Tooney. 36 seconds remaining on this push here. Astral Authority trying to tie things up. I think they have the advantage heading into late game, given how shield heavy this composition is out of Xenosy. So they're okay losing as long as they're closing the gap, which it looks like they did in that last fight. They put up a very, very tough fight in both rounds here, but they look to be closing the gap.
I just think that the fact that none of these teams has a healer is so interesting because none of them have real sustain besides shields. I think if any of them had a Ying on that composition, they would be able to win some of these objective fights. Now, of course, the damage that these players provide means that they can be so good at zoning, and they can be so dangerous at defending, but again, it just doesn't leave a clear advantage on the point. And I think actually it hurts Astral Authority more because Supersully, the Makoa, is not meant to just withstand as much as Barrick or even Fernando can by themselves.
I gotta give him a lot of credit though. I think he's playing very well as the sole frontliner, given the situation, given the comp that he is against. He's against 3 frontliners. Supersully doing a good job staying alive, making good spacing for his shell shield to be utilized to its fullest. And it's really off the back of his team, and they're doing a great job as well with these wreckers to try and blast through all of the shielding mitigation coming out from Xenosy. Now, a lot of cauterizers are coming out from their side, despite there not being too much sustain on the side of Astral Authority, which is a bit of an interesting choice here.
That's right. I guess they do not want Buck to be healing up. They may feel he's a big counter potential there, and just to shut him down is what their goal is. And so that Giga Siphon, if he's running that in his deck, will not be nearly as effective. And there you see already Cacanuck getting going down. Double headshot, and Evulli falls it up. There it is, tinyFetus, but he misses the rocket that would have done so much, and Evulli takes down the blaster, his opponent on the enemy team. And this is where Astral Authority have shined in the past. They have shown so strong, such a strong zone potential, and this is not what they want. The Hexafire immediately on the Madman.
In front of that.
It's gonna take him though, man. He didn't know that was gonna happen. It was such an immediate effect. Madman had no chance to react. The reversal comes out now for Bodies, but is it too late? He's gotta get a kill to impact this fight, and 99% turns into 100, and Astral Authority move ahead 3-2.
You know, you hear me yelling at iDropBodies to get that reversal in front of that Hexafire there, but you know, all things told, it wasn't the worst idea to hold on to it. I just like seeing that thrown back into Ruckus's face. It's just one of the hottest plays that you can make in Paladins.
Did you see that though? That's the power. The emitter just actually held all of Body's ultimate damage. He just popped that and it took 3K of it, and he only did 1K to his actual health. tinyFetus now is gonna go looking for more to kill, and he's gonna try to discourage any type of pushing around where he likes to hang out. So he's gonna fly in the air, just see where the zones are at. Tooney as well, looking to find if anyone's gone to the backside, and now he's gonna pop his emitter, move himself back. Because he's near the payload, he can also use his repulsor field, which gives, like Nick said, 50% damage reduction to anybody who is near him for 3 seconds. And so it is gonna be imperative, but he cannot survive thanks to Bodies.
Yep, going down into the planet and getting punished by KingPac. Madman takes a spill. Cacanuck finds Bodies. Pac finds PowTecH here. Supersully, the only one able to find an answer in that fight. Minute 15 remaining here, but Astral Authority gonna be forced to regroup out of that one.
Yeah, KingPac is feeling himself, man. I mean, talk about the impact. I mean, these two superstars are having here. Evulli, I don't know if he's shown up as consistently as Pac has. I think Sully was fantastic in that last game, in that last point capture, but KingPac has just been this defensive monster, hitting people from far range.
Yeah, he's kind of the one, though, that is going to be getting all the kills, right? Because it's a Ruckus, it's a Barrick, it's a Fernando. They're going to be holding it down for him, giving him a lot of room to work. I think there was a lot of credit to be given out to a lot of people in this game, but now all the respawns are starting to come through. Madman takes the spill. Evulli going big for the time being with the Ice Storm until taking a spill. Pac is caught out or pushed out all the way into the backline, was not able to have an outstanding impact in that fight.
Astral Authority are one push away from winning this first game in this best-of-5 set of the Evie's Winter Classic Finals here in North America for week 2. And they want it badly. They've stayed at the top of the charts for a full 3 weeks now, thanks to the 2-week interim period we've had. And they want to make it 4. They need this win. They need this push. But KingPac, he's got something to say about it. It's Evulli versus Pac here. Actually, it's Madman versus Pac. The shield of the barrier will help him, but Madman will stop all of that madness, and he'll be immune as well because he's invisible and they can't see. You can't kill what you can't see, baby. And he's gonna go ahead and keep trying to fight again that draw, keeping him alive, and he doesn't feel there's any danger to that. But the second he gets uninvisible, he gets killed right away. And I don't know, Nick, do you think that was best for him to be able to continue shooting?
He kind of had to. He had 130 HP remaining. Tooney with the ultimate goes down, though. Ice Storm is still here to close this out. Buck Wild is still available. Great zoning Ice Storm from Evulli here, looking to close it out for Astral Authority, but he will fall.
They got to get someone there. Sully's really low.
Inches.
Oh, nice impale into KingPac, who is going to roll towards the cart. And Madman shuts him down, and he takes the win. Oh, my gosh. Shaolin just giving him the business.
That's
and,
Rich Height strong right there.
And just saying, hey, you know, I got a couple of bows myself. You know, I got a workshop out here. I know how to make them. I know how to shoot them. Let me show you what I'm working with.
There were some very clutch impales in that last engagement, but the zoning Ice Storm right on the spawn room door. Nowhere to go to get out and try and contest that. We saw how close. Cassie, the only hope, but Madman was there. That's what I'm talking about. We got Evulli making plays. Still, Madman is in the back. Everyone is firing on all cylinders for Astral Authority right now.
That's what it is for me. They've got so many weapons now that they can use one whenever any of the others are not performing up to snuff. And it's not that they weren't even performing. It's just the fact that they had moments where they were lackluster. And in those moments, Evulli stepped up big. In other moments, Madman stepped up big. In other moments, Body stepped up big. And you can see it here in the stat line.
Yeah, everyone getting good damage out. KingPac and Evulli, like we mentioned, really the superstars of that previous game, north of 90,000 damage.
Evie?
As an Evie.
That's rare.
Against this clump comp. You know, it's tough out here for an Evie, but Evulli really making it work no matter the situation that he has been put in. Also, big shout out to Supersully there. 2,600 credits, a very good score for the sole frontliner against three.
306 objective time. 306 seconds. The highest competing with that on Xenosy was 160.
The man's Mako is insane.
Oh my God, Supersully. That's why I call him the Super Turtle. Let's go to the map screen and see where this next game will be played. Astral Authority with the lead, 1-0 over Xenosy.
Serpent Beach. Gonna be game number 2, and a similar story here on Serpent Beach as Jaguar Falls. A lot of just well-rounded stuff. A lot of good high ground, though, as the map layout has changed slightly here. We're ready for picks, and we're going to see what these two teams elect to bring to the table.
So Xenosy, with first pick this round, they will look to figure out where they need to prioritize. They prioritized the Fernando in previous games, but it didn't work here. And especially with the Barrack and Ruckus combination, I think they'll be looking to do something different. And they do. They take away
the Bomb King
Evie
game
from Evulli, and this could be the Bomb King game.
It could be.
Could be the one. He's had a lot of nice plays on Serpent Beach.
So, do Astral Authority take away the Fernando now from Xenosy? It's not that nothing really went wrong for them. They just played very heavily into shielding.
Andro, I think. I think you go in. Okay, so they're gonna take the Cassie KingPac. That's a great thing as well. They're taking that away from KingPac, who was so effective with that.
Yeah,
I think
Madman can play it lights out.
Yeah, that's true. It's a win for you, and you counter them.
So Fernando going to be taken for Xenosy here. I don't think Astral Authority really want this pick here. Buck going to be taking it away from PowTecH. I mean, PowTecH, we didn't talk about him a whole lot there on the back. So now they're just saying, all right, PowTecH, what else you got? PowTech's got the pip. That could come out. That's a good answer for Fernando as well, but it will be the Androxus likely to be going to bodies. And what will Evulli be playing? Still, the Bomb King is on the table, but the key with that pick is that they don't have to take it that early. Evulli can also play the Shaolin. That's probably what he's going to be going with here.
I think they're going to wait and see exactly what these picks do, because if Pip can counter, or they feel that they need a healer to counter what Xenosy is doing, and they will potentially now with this sustain, they may end up grabbing the Pip for PowTecH and Shaolin on Evulli.
I think it could be good.
And that is what they're going to do. They
Mojo,
seem to favor the Pip. The Ruckus, he's pretty hard to, you take away all his shielding, you take away all his damage, mitigation. You just really put him in a bind with that 1500.
The funny thing, though, about Ruckus and Evil Mojo, if he emitters and shields himself, He actually keeps the emitter when he goes into the chicken. I found that out the hard way the other day, that interaction, and trying to chew
I'm not
through
sure if
that.
that's intentional. That might be more of the OB and open beta for us.
That 4,500 HP chicken ain't no joke.
Yeah, that's a serious chicken, man. That's like
That's that old season war veteran chicken. He's got the scar.
Oh yeah, he's like, I've been through a lot. You want to try and roast me?
They try to slaughter me.
They tried to kill me before.
Chicken run. I broke out of this place 2 or 3 times by now.
Yeah, grease don't phase me. I jacuzzi in grease.
Anyway, Evulli going to be on that Shaolin for Astral Authority. Drop bodies on Androxus once again. Madman taking up the bows. The Hunter's down. Supersully, where else would he be? PowTecH on the pip this time.
And now on the side of Tooney, Xenosy, Tooney will be on Ruckus, Cacanuck on Evie, KingPac on Buck, Exalotus on Fernando, and tinyFetus on Maldamba. And so they're looking to do a full zone. And again, they get onto the Serpent Beach racetrack. And which team is going to come in first? Well, that'll depend a lot on Supersully's hook. Evulli takes down KingPac, but Tooney responds in kind, slaying down Evulli. So Madman is out, Ruckus is still up, Bodies is down, and Cacanuck is ready. But it looks like the Maldamba is forced to slither away, and saving that shell spin for such a crucial time is Supersully. Really good disengage as well from Madman to push Fernando out of the shield range to be able to keep Supersully alive, and that could pay real big dividends here in this next fight.
Cacanuck
Wow!
taking out
Immediate!
KingPac, though. KingPac's gonna fall to the hook there. Great combination was actually planted across the way. Was Evulli hitting him the entire time. Now 69 to 39% reads the point capture. Supersully forced out for the time being.
And they want that Ruckus, but he's on the point. He's doing so much damage.
Great target
All
switch.
those headshots, and Tooney, he's going to get beat by the man fight. The Q of Planet will surpass and supplant Ruckus's domination thus far onto the point objective. And Astral Authority now 60% and counting, and looking to make a name for themselves on Serpent Beach and make a name for themselves in the finals here to potentially go one up in this game too. The Wreckers paying dividends, dealing tons of damage, 75% extra to be in fact onto
Great shell
Fernando
shield,
shields, and the shell shield keeping Evulli
So
alive and making him get the kill onto Ruckus with that damage being mitigated. It's so good, Nick. It's just such good team play.
Supersully threw the dome shield out around the Ruckus and himself, trapping him in the cage with the Ruckus, but saving his teammate. That is the type of selfless play that makes Supersully the great frontliner that he is. He will put his life, he will see his HP as a resource to be used by his team.
And that will provide them with quite a lot of resources as well. It's like he's looking to get the best benefit for Bang there. He's a budget Makoa. He's trying to make sure that everything is going to plan, and he's got all of his financials in order. PowTecH, he's got all his chickens lined up as well.
That's
whether they're
all day,
fried,
dude.
whether they're whether they're grilled, you know, whether they're boiled, it doesn't matter. The chickens are going down, and Bodies is there along for the ride, and he's just enjoying the sights that he's seeing there. He takes a big old fireball, and that will help slay Madman, but he will stay alive to fight another day, with Evulli having to be forced out with the pressure from Cacanuck and Tooney from behind.
Cacanuck gonna be taken out by Supersully. KingPac pops the ult, gets the kill onto Evulli, but goes down quickly thereafter. Bodies still ripping through Xenosy in the backline right now. Is able to get that disengage. Gonna chew through that Fernando shield a bit before heading around the corner. But that Evo Mojo was real clean, and that is an ultimate I think is gonna hit the mark every time with Astral Authority. Their target prioritization, their focus, and the follow-up on abilities is so good. I think Pip is going to do a lot of great things for them.
Now look at this Cacanuck. Really nice to avoid. Planted from Shaolin, and gets a little bit of pressure onto the Pip as well. He's looking to apply some pressure onto the Cassie, and although that's not on his team this time, he has no fear heading up against Madman. He's a Madman himself. He's going to blink into the fight. Soar as well, uses both escapes. He's got to blink, but he doesn't need it. He's going to go down to PowTecH, but he does slay Madman in return. And though the better end of that trade goes to Astral Authority as the payload pushes, Cacanuck did take down the long-range damage dealer in Cassie. The Slither will only get Maldamba so far. He'll force Wakona's Chosen, actually the Dread Serpent there, the ultimate, but it will not be enough to stall this push.
Trading out kill for kill at this point. Still trading out kill for kill. Xenosy now in their favor as Cacanuck and KingPac find bodies. PowTecH goes down as well to KingPac. 10 seconds remain. I don't see anyone from Astral Authority being able to make it back in time. This will likely tie us up 1-1 here. A couple of ultimates used. Ancient Rage just went out, and so did the Dread Serpent. They're trying to keep himself alive, which he did. He still found good value for it, but it won't be available for this team fight.
It's a great look at this stat line here. tinyFetus 0-4, having no luck as the Maldamba as well. He could find some big reload spam stuns with deft hands, but he's just not really being able to impact his team there with really any kills on there. But his healing is going to be the most imperative thing for sure. And Pip, he's not the strongest healer as well, so there's a good chance, despite not killing anyone, tinyFetus will have the advantage for his team.
Yep, but PowTecH with 5 killing blows there. Able to play killing up duty. Another big thing that Pip provides is a lot of control, a lot of CC to the team fight. Very easy to land that explosive flask. We know PowTecH is highly capable of it. Ice Storm's going to be available for Cacanuck here, moving out, trying to find somebody on the flank, but he is spotted out. That Cassie ultimate, he's hooked out immediately, gets into the ice block, but these guys have the timing to take him out the second he snaps out.
PowTecH, he's so strong
Surprise!
there with that Pip.
Surprise!
Surprise, Mofo, but guess what?
You know that feeling.
Surprise!
You know that feeling.
I sure do. That happened to me the other day, and look at this. iDropBodies gets the reverse surprise with the reversal of most of that damage, forcing the Ruckus to turn away and not use the brunt of that Hexafire damage, and despite that, he's done enough to force Astral Authority off the objective for the time being. And so 24% now for Xenosy and climbing the Evie, looking to zone, and they're all grouped up. This is a great spot for her, but if she can get out alive,
Jeez, man.
she can't.
Oh, they know the timing coming out of that ice block. They forced the Fernando shield early as well. Up on the high ground, Bodies is the last target that Ruckus wants to focus out. The reversal is the perfect answer to what he's got going for him. Immortal is out on the chain, but here comes the evil mojo.
He's got to hit him. He's got to hit this chicken, and he does.
All day, baby.
And there it is, all day. It's working out. PowTecH is being so instrumental in winning these fights ultimately for his team with these multiple chicken ultimates. Astral Authority now with clear command of it. A nice reversal, taking the butt damage. He gets Cacanuck, and Evulli actually slays that with a double kill, finishing off KingPac thanks to iDropBodies just delaying them and making them focus on the Atroxus rather than the stealth assassin sniper there on the backhand side with the sand powers doing what he needs to do and getting kills for his team. But now this is tough, Nick. There's so many members on the side of Astral Authority alive and well, but Xenosy can't pick off any of them. Overtime is ticking away, 99%, and Astral Authority are going to take the lead in this game, 2-1.
They're rolling out now. They got a lot available to them, doing a great job. But that's where Ruckus is weak, where he came back with Fernando, the other frontliner, not a lot of other support, to an already set up, well-positioned team, and he just fell apart almost instantaneously. That is the struggle with the Ruckus. Here comes the accursed arm, but there is a lot of HP to go through there. Bodies, a nice reversal is going to reset the cooldown on the nether step, but you can't do any more damage if you're dead. Tooney finding 2 kills in this engagement before going down. Evulli free firing from the flank here. Here's the Buck Wild. I would just stay in stealth. I wouldn't mess with that right now. Finds one quick pop shot, but ultimately that's going to be a Buck Wild wasted from KingPac.
It got the force of Evulli to back off. He didn't want to aggress onto the Buck. If Buck wasn't in that state, Evulli might have aggressed for that kill, and if he got it, that push would have been moving very far forward. But Bodies looking to take the right flank, and it looks like on the left-hand side, Evulli finds himself stuck with Cacanuck in a box. Evulli, is he going to go down? PowTecH just chilling in the back line, doesn't see his teammate struggling until now, until Evulli dies and Body dies as well. So they split up the flankers, and they both meet an unfortunate demise.
Evil
All of a sudden,
Mojo?
we see the evil mojo is possible, but he knew he was dead in a very short while and did not want to use it. It could have wasted it. He might not have gotten the shots off in time, and he could have died. And so I like it, holding it there in the pocket. They've got 1 minute and 2 seconds left before they have to really give up this push.
Yep. Now all of Astral Authority is returning. KingPac, instinctively, he's leaping over the wall that used to be there. But there is no wall there anymore. Getting up onto the high ground now on this Buck. Here's the evil mojo, though. Can they follow it up? They do every time. There's the double kill for PowTecH. This is why this ultimate is so good on paper. You just got to put it into practice every time. Guaranteed 2 frontliners dead. Astral Authority, oh, tinyFetus able to take one down with him, though.
It's one of those things where when it works, it's wonderful. When it doesn't work, it's horrible, right? Because you just don't get any value from it, and that's why you pick them. And that's the key. And so if you're able to make it work, if you have this champion in your back pocket, in your champion pool like PowTecH does, then he's going to be so valuable for his team, Astral Authority. But despite that, Nick, despite finding several kills on each of those evil mojos from Pip, they have not been able to successfully get past this choke.
Yeah, but they continue to win these point fights, and that's all you really need to do if you want to take it to the end game. He's already 59, 60% charged on this ultimate, so won't be available right out of the gate, but he does have the morale boost too. He knows he is a walking ultimate. He is trying to get that up as often and as quickly as possible, so it is not anywhere out of the realm of possibility that we could see that come up and be used in this point fight.
The only real way to counter Pip, Nick, is not a champion, really. I mean, it's a card that is in the defense tree.
Sure is, but
there's
one that
no
people
reason.
don't like to take. We see the Haven favoritism. All 10 players have Haven in this game. Resilience will be the answer to that evil mojo, but it's just do you do the do.
Right, it's very efficient. Obviously, you can get it for 600 credits less than you would get any other tier 3 card, and save that to expand your card, your item in any other regard. But it just doesn't seem to be more beneficial than getting that damage reduction. So they have to deal with the chicken and just position themselves well enough. Tooney is trying to position himself well here, and it's working. KingPac and Cacanuck both on double kills, and KingPac make that a triple kill for the Trigger Man Buck. So the Trigger Man, like Nick says, proves to be the bigger man, and this is going all the way in Xenosy's favor, and this is not looking good for Astral Authority here.
Evulli goes into plan and misses most of it, finally finding the mark there with that Buck. Wow, KingPac trying to get out. He'll be safe for the time being. Supersully is hot on his trail. Here's the accursed arm from Bodies, trying to make a couple corpses on this field, as well as the Immortal keeping everyone alive. Big reversal. Astral Authority are coming back. Haven't dropped a single kill in this fight yet.
Oh, and he got the hook right out of the ice block. That's so nice, because you have to preempt that a little bit before the Evie moves. Not even Body could react faster than Supersully on that, and just showing the prowess of this turtle, man. And Astral Authority now back in control. 51% on the board for them, and they are looking to find themselves ahead for the third point fight in a row and maybe push this to a successful win of the game. They're going to go up 2-0 if that happens, but Xenosy are doing everything they can to stop that from being the case, and it starts with Cacanuck here forcing his game onto Madman. He blinks back and gets his full health, and there's the chicken ultimate. Rains one, and it's looking to rain another. Bodies is going to clean it up, and there's PowTecH's ultimate for you. That's why you pick Pip, and that's why chicken, it just tastes so good.
Yeah,
maybe that's not why.
All day, man. They have not failed to follow up on a single evil mojo yet coming out from PowTecH. PowTecH hitting clutch targets every single time. I honestly like him on Pip a little bit more than I think I like him on Buck at this point.
Oh, he's doing a really good job. I didn't like, his Buck was fine, but this Pip is game changing.
This is impactful.
It's game changing. His Buck was doing what he needed to do. This Pip is absolutely winning the game for them. These ultimates are the reason that Astral Authority are here, and you can't take that away from them. That's what drafts are about. It is the reason PowTecH here is staying alive, because of the mobility Pip offers into this kind of clumpy, kind of like, Fernando. They got the Ruckus, they got the Maldama. They want to stay where they are and get that healing, get on that gourd. The Pip with the weightless, able to just outmaneuver so many of them. He's doing what his team needs to do. This was really good drafting and really good execution of that draft by Astral Authority.
They're getting frustrated too. They're trying to take Pip out. They're trying to focus PowTecH, but Pip is so slippery. It's not time efficient to do that. You waste so much. You miss so often when he's in weightless. And you got Bodies in your backline dropping a cursed arm blast on top. You KingPac finally able to find the answer to it, taking him down. Cacanuck misses the Sora onto the high ground. Goes into Ice Black. He might be followed up on here. A nice shot from Madman will do it. And Madman always does.
What Madman do? He's a madman. You don't mess with a madman. You don't mess with a bad man, says Michael Jackson. And there it is. You see the Immortal coming out with Fernando, and he's trying to stay alive, and he's doing a good job, but it's not as good as he wanted to. KingPac gets the kill. Bodies is left in the upper ledges, hiding around. He sees his Vulpine friend dying in the side, and actually, PowTecH just stands there. He knows he needs to die because he wants to get grouped up with his team. He doesn't want to extend his life dig. I love that decision that he just made there.
Yep, so oftentimes it is a better choice just to die, just so you can respawn with your team. Every second is precious in Paladins, and only 30 remain in this round. Astral Authority have the chance to close this out, and this is just game number 2, folks. We got a best of 5 here for you today, so somebody's got to take 3 games if they want this one to end. 15 seconds remain. All 10 players are here and ready to fight.
They're fighting for their lives. Well, not their lives, but their lives here in this Paladins Evie's Winter Classic. That's what they're looking to do. Madman follows it up real well, and he's fighting with vigor. He's fighting with morale. He doesn't have morale boost. That's Pip, and that's been the difference maker thus far. But Madman and Evulli have still made such a huge impact with their damage. Although Haven, it will mitigate them, and the big man fight is going to get interrupted by a Goblin and a huge mech suit, and that's going to end the deal for them. Overtime is ticked away, but it doesn't look like Astral Authority will be able to push this one again, especially with Supersully going down himself.
Oh, he's getting spam stunned out by the Maldamba. That overtime will burn out post haste. 3-3 reads the scoreline. Xenosy have just as much a chance at this that Astral Authority does. Taking a look at the ultimates here, it's going to be very telling. Ice Storm is available. Buck Wild, very impactful ultimate. The Dread Serpent as well. We've only seen that, I think, once have a real big impact on a fight. But the Evil Mojo always feels like it's available, and it is this time as well. PowTecH on Pip is going to have that in the arsenal. Ancient Rage not quite on the mark scout, so they're going to know where everyone is. The Heat Haze, no Accursed Arm, but 80% with morale boost too. That's just a clip away from being charged.
He is going to be right there in the fight. And iDropBodies is obviously one that you don't want anywhere but by your side. If he's on the enemy team, you're going to have to watch out. His aim is crazy, but 23-9 is KingPac right now. He is going crazy, and he sees Evulli. He wants to jump in, and Cacanuck gets the death there by Bodies. Here's the windup. He's going for Supersully. Is there an Ancient Rage available? There's not, and Sully's going to go down. KingPac is on a 6th streak, and whether he's on Cassie or whether he's on Buck, he's doing exactly what his team needs, and that's carrying them to successful plays, successful fights, and maybe a successful game win here, unless Astral Authority have something to say about it. 72% and counting.
Lance sees him out, gets into plan and puts some good damage onto him. He might go down, escapes with 31 HP. That's so big. Madman doesn't see him. Evulli does, though. All of the ultimates still available for Astral Authority. Here comes the Hex of Fire, the Immortal, keeping everyone alive. This could be it. Tooney finding 2 big kills. Evulli spotted out with Astral Authority, getting dominated in that last fight. 100% to roughly less than 10.
The problem is Astral Authority couldn't push any of these payload fights, and they end up losing the last objective that counts the most. They go down, and the series is now tied 1-1. Astral Authority are just, I think, are they shocked right now that that happened, winning 3 in a row, and then just all of a sudden they come back?
That always feels bad, man. That always feels bad to have that happen to you. But I think KingPac getting around there and getting the jump on Madman and Evulli. He did go down, but he bought so much time. By the time the rest of the backline of Astral Authority was able to get to the point, Supersully was already dead.
That's right. I mean, and that means so much, especially look at KingPac here. I want to talk about him mostly, Nick. 40 and 10. Talked about 23 and 9 in terms of his stat line.
Top damage on his team.
I mean,
with a buck.
I mean, this guy has been playing lights out. He is bar none the reason that Xenosy is able to keep up with Astral Authority. You can't take anything away from Cacanuck. You can't take anything away from Exalotus and Tooney. tinyFetus had a very, I think, good healing game, bad offensive game, but that's what your healer is there for. And they've made this ruckus work, but I really think it's all thanks to KingPac here.
Yep, breaking 100K. The only one in the game to do so was Evulli. That was so close, almost too close to call there. Supersully still with the 2,800 credits. Very impactful on that Makoa. That's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Tied up 1-1. Headed into the map screen. We'll see where game number 3. This automatically means we're going to be pushed to a minimum of a game number 4. Fish Market going to be selected. Obviously, Timber Mill and Ice Mines still banned out.
So Fish Market will be there. We are ready for the champion draft. Let's see what comes up in the fishing village here. We still haven't seen Bomb King, and you know what? Astral Authority.
I think Bomb King could have been good there against the Ruckus.
I think it could have been great against the Ruckus. I mean, I think that they just don't. The problem was they picked for Evulli, and then they picked to counter Xenosy with the Pip and add some healing onto their team. Both teams didn't have healers the game before, and so now that they took a healer, they felt, okay, we have to take a healer, and Evulli, that was their flex pick. He could go, you know, to obviously Madman if Madman was going to stay with that, or he could have gone, and you know, it's just unfortunate that they had to go that route.
So with Xenosy grabbing this Evie here, if they go Ruckus again, man, I almost want to say definitely go Bomb King here. Bomb King is a character, especially when on Evulli, that's hitting almost every shot, can just shred through that tank's HP, making him irrelevant. You don't even really need the Wrecker with all the bonus damage Bomb King's able to leverage.
Yeah, that's true. Evie is just such a strong champion. They picked Shaolin earlier. Okay, and so I think this is a flex pick for Madman or Evulli. Personally, that is what I think. And that way, they picking it up earlier in this draft, they allow Xenosy to kind of tell their cards with the next 2 picks.
Yeah, and they grab the cast.
And they're able to grab it. So they've got both bows.
They got
now,
2
They got
bows.
2 bows. But again, now that they've got that for Cassie, that's what Madman likes to play. And unless his champion pool is a little bit more dynamic than we've seen him using, and I'm sure it is. I don't know if Bomb King fits in this lineup yet, if they want to go and counter this healing that Maldama's going to bring to the table with another healer.
Yeah, so we'll see if they grab a second frontliner, excuse me, for Xenosy. Astral Authority and grab bodies as Androxus. Again, I mean, it was so, that composition was so close to working that it's almost like, do we not run that again? They just had one little thing go wrong. They're hovering the Ruckus of their own. Now Xenosy is put in a rough spot because they don't have a great way to deal with that.
They took the Ruckus. This was not what I anticipated, but hey, Ruckus becoming you know, the champion that we actually are fighting for in competitive Paladins. This is it's a new dawn. It's a new day.
What is this? Yeah, I mean, Xenosy don't have a great way to deal with it. They don't have the Drogos. They don't have the Bomb King. They don't really have a lot. I mean, Victor's, I mean, yeah, he's got the mid to long range, but his range was just nerfed, and there is a lot to chew through, especially with that repulsor field and the emitter on top of that.
Let's introduce the teams here. Tied up in the finals, 1-1. Astral Authority versus Xenosy. Evulli will be on Shaolin. Madman on Cassie. iDropBodies on Androxus. Supersully, the Super Turtle, on Makoa. And PowTecH will be on Ruckus.
Xenosy gonna have Tooney taking up arms as Victor. Cacanuck on Evie. Exalotus on Fernando. KingPac on Buck. He was on fire last game. tinyFetus once again on Maldamba, going for that reload speed build. Trying to CC out. That'll be a pretty effective answer to PowTecH, interrupting a lot of that Ruckus damage.
That's right. Now Evulli, he wants to get revenge for losing that last game. This is a really good line of sights map for Shaolin. He can see a lot of people here, and he's going to get first blood. Supersully will actually get the credit for that, and he will take down Cacanuck on the Evie, who just chose a inappropriate flanking route for the scenario. And now Buck is getting hit from behind, and there it is. The planet comes through. That's a huge tool of Shaolin's that's on cooldown, and if Buck knows it, he might be able to aggress onto him, but he's going to stay in the back line knowing he doesn't have any pressure from his team now. And there's the Buck looking for one target. He's going to withdraw and put Evulli away, going invisible for the time being. Cacanuck and him are pressuring, and finally KingPac gets Evulli, but at what cost? They have 78% to count. Their enemies are 78% on the point, Nick, and they're only starting to build up some pressure now.
That's right. Getting pretty dug in, though. KingPac at about half health. Needs to be careful. Doesn't have the opportunity to go in just yet. Doesn't pop the recovery, though. Wants that Maldamba to heal him up, but tinyFetus not really doing that job. He goes in with the half health, and he's going to get punished for it.
Evulli and Bodies, they're going to take him down, body him, and put KingPac into the ground, and now Cacanuck falls. This is no good. Evulli's on a double kill. Make that, no, double kill. Yeah, he's on a double kill. Madman goes ahead and takes down Tooney as well, and so this overtime will surely take away and give Astral Authority the authority over this Game 3 first round with a 1-0 advantage.
Buck turning tail and running away. Nice impale. Create some space for Madman to get out on this Cassie. Heatwave available. Impale available. He's just going to fall to Tooney. Tooney with the double kill. Finds Bodies. Finds Evulli.
They were throwing everything at him there. They were throwing snakes over the corner. They threw like globs of poison. They were throwing long-range snipes from Evie, and she's going to blink in, try and do some damage onto PowTecH, but she cannot reach there. And this is the problem. I'm very interested to see what the item choices are here, Nick, especially in this map, because the zone can be real. I think Master Riding might be a decent pickup here.
It is a fairly long distance from spawn to this point here, and you got to ask yourself who really needs the morale boost. That was the only really yellow utility card that we saw picked up in contention there on Bodies. I would assume he's going to go the morale boost there. But a lot of other people have the room and the space in their inventory to go for that Master Riding.
And you know what? With Ruckus, the lack of mobility he has, if Bodies gets hit off his horse, he can still never step. Nice play, though. The Immortal will come out and save Victor, and Tooney will get the kill. What a play by Exalotus, and now KingPac will finish it with a double. That was impactful. That was one of the more impactful Immortals we've seen in a long time. He doesn't have a chance to go into anything because KingPac survives the damage, the stun, and anything else Evulli was going to throw at him, and gets his life in the process. KingPac still showing that he is a dangerous buck to play against. I wouldn't want to face this guy in ranked.
50 seconds remaining here, so they don't really have time to do any more full wipes here. Astral Authority have to have a clean push from here on out. It's going to be difficult given the respawn proximity advantage that the defenders are going to have at this stage of the game. Tooney takes down Madman, and that is no good for Astral Authority's push.
I love the flanking options here by Xenosy. They're just forcing Astral Authority to keep their eyes backwards and forwards, and they can't do it all that well. And it looks like finally Cacanuck gets caught out, but what he and KingPac have been doing has delayed it all the way until 13 seconds are only left on the clock. They're going to have 10 seconds to get over this hump, and then it is going to be overtime, and anybody who steps off that cart on the side of Astral Authority could potentially let it go down and tie things up for Xenosy here in this round. A really nice ultimate, but Bodies isn't affected. Supersully immunes it by going into his ultimate, and therefore gets the kill onto the Moldal, but Bodies is still alive, and he's gonna hit the reversal onto KingPac. He's gonna finish him off thanks to Madman, and now this push could look realistic here. Madman with the roll, the triple kill, and the successful push.
Wow.
Top play, top play.
That might be a Nick pick. That might be Nick's pick. Madman showing he is in contention for it right now. 5 streak for him, picking up blast shields, 5 and 4. One of the better slash lines on Astral Authority. Second only to Evulli. Evulli, man, already has 4 items picked up. That's Life Rip, that's Wrecker, that's Haven 1, and Nimble. He is going to be moving around the battlefield swiftly. All 5 members of Xenosy have picked up the Haven in response, though, and for good reason. There's going to be a lot of damage mitigation potentially coming out. Some morale boosts on the side of Tooney and Cacanuck here. It's one of the more dangerous ultimate wombo combos there. The barrage, not so dangerous on its own, as it's very difficult to land on any aware targets. But the Ice Storm with that persisting cripple and slow makes it much, much more impactful here. She's going to drop it on the high ground, get punished. That is a great start for Astral Authority.
Cacanuck's got to be shaking his head here. He's got to respawn and watch his death again, because that's what happened again. For the second time in a row, the second round in a row, he died thanks to a Supersully pull, and he just needs to know that flanking route is not going to work. Occam's Razor, we heard it told to us earlier, that the simplest solution is obvious, usually the most probable, and that means that she's going to come the same way, and they take advantage of it. Despite killing the Evie early on, though, Astral Authority have been forced out from an early advantage, and Cacanuck has come back. KingPac showing the shotgun sniper's prowess there, and now 66% on the point for Xenosy. They're looking good.
That is impressive that Xenosy were able to win that fight despite dropping Cacanuck and his ultimate so early on. 93%. Supersully goes down, throws tinyFetus off the point, but too little, too late. Xenosy able to get that one captured. The Hexafire from the high ground. Evulli finds 2. Madman finds 1 here, but Xenosy, the damage is already done. Not all is lost, however, for Astral Authority, as they did cap and convert and can still benefit from the defense point here.
I mean, the thing is, Astral Authority just doing so well in their ability to dominate these games that I don't think it's gonna phase them, right? Not being able to necessarily push this one, and I think that now it does seem that Madman is gonna have to be forcing himself back here, but it's just a bit of a reprieve. He's gonna come back. Buck was jumping on him though. I don't know if he'll survive that one. He actually does go down, and the push continues for Xenosy as they head forward into the base.
They need to hold here. Tooney zipping around on this Victor, one of the more mobile, if not predictable champions here, to just sit in the back line, content firing from mid to long range. Good at dismounting. He can hit you from a long way away. Won't do too much damage, but he's going to get everyone off their horses. He's going to be able to call out their locations here. Has the barrage available to him still. Going to be holding on to that. Cacanuck's almost ready to go once again with that Ice Storm here. It's a very, very potent wombo combo if you get it set up correctly here. A minute remaining on this push. Cacanuck getting closer and closer. 95% on his ult. Tooney's getting focused out by Madman, and Madman just takes the 1v1 and walks away with the crown.
Cacanuck slaying bodies also, and he's got his Evulli's got his ultimate available. This is actually a common situation. Man fight's gonna come out, but the damage over time, getting him below 100 health, will secure the kill for Exalotus. Holy crits, Batman. That took down Cacanuck real fast, and PowTecH showing exactly why Ruckus is sometimes very valued in Paladins, because of his ability to, when nobody's applying pressure to him, do such an insane amount of damage.
Yep, and off the map you go, Sir Exalotus. PowTecH getting the last hit credit for that one, but that was all Supersully's knowledge of the map. You saw him, he charged instinctively, and it was enough to keep him elevated for a time, but then he was just like, you bastard, you bastard. He dropped to a watery grave. Fernando's flame extinguished.
That's not a good thing for you to say. You should make me say that, Nick. That hits too close to home. Fernando's flame will never be extinguished, okay? And Evie, she knows that as well. That's why she's got to keep the pressure up and make sure that her Fernando can get back safely for her to successfully continue to push this. Madman is under pressure here. In fact, Cacanuck slayed him, and KingPac is looking to finish off bodies as well. This buck play from KingPac has been phenomenal. He's taking down Supersully here. He's unstoppable.
He's gonna kill everyone?
He is going to just kill everybody except DropBodies, and now this is a problem. A 13th streak is going to give somebody a lot of credits here. I don't think Body's going to let him get away. Madman definitely won't, and that's going to really change some things, because Madman will get some nice ultimate charge. Of course, if anyone's going to get it, probably Cassie is going to be the least impactful in terms of a point fight.
He bought so much time for his team to return there, but one nice impale from Evulli actually sent Exalotus back into the wall, stunned him out. Overtime had already been ticking for so long that we saw it extinguish almost immediately. PowTecH with the Wrecker 3 online is going to be chewing that Fernando shield to pieces post-haste.
2-2, here we go, and it does look to be that Astral Authority are ready to go. Looking with their ultimates, everyone has them all online, and so it is not a matter of what they've been giving. It's a matter of how they use their power.
That's
a lot
right.
of ultimates here, man, and I don't know. What do you give the advantage to?
Right now, it's going to come down to... I want to talk about these cauterizes actually coming out from Xenosy. Despite there being no healer from Astral Authority, they're giving the respect to Shaolin's Planet Sustain. We've seen DropBodies. He's got the sustain. With all of the nether stepping around Cassie, obviously with the life ripping, it's enough for them to want to buy it because these guys know how to use it.
I'm actually really surprised at that as well. I mean, they don't care about the Ruckus. They don't care about, you know, the Makoa. Like, they're just saying, okay, fine, we're going to go in and we're going to take down the people who are really damaging us. And then those champions, they won't be able to do much. KingPac using that wind up to perfection. That shield surviving a lot longer than I thought. Oh, it's because it seems that PowTecH has found a new target. Sully doing a great job with the dot. Damage over time will not do it. It's in the cuddly Makoa running in fear from the trigger man, Hitman himself. Bodies is looking to not drop his own here as Victor misses a long-range grenade, and iDropBodies is going to heal up. Look to use the B for some tactical BM and get a third-person perspective as to where his enemies are, with 70% now on the point for Xenosy.
Yep, Astral Authority have the chance to win here as they did benefit from the defense point in the previous round. Here comes the barrage. Ancient Rage is available here. He's just keeping everyone in the cage with him.
There it
Pops
is.
it immediately after the snake stun. Doesn't have a great target. Who's he going to go for? Supersully.
Oh,
He finds his own targets.
downtown.
There's nobody out of position. He'll pull somebody into his range right now. Astral Authority climbing 20 points in the meantime on the capture rate. Another great hook onto Fernando, chipping him lower and lower.
He wants the kill. Supersully is dominating this point fight, and Fernando is going to go down real quick thanks to PowTecH getting back into the scene. And you know Sully's got that shell shield. He's blocking him, so Evie can't even get the finishing shot. She just needs to survive, but not with that 1,300 or more DPS coming at her from the Ruckus. And now it seems like KingPac is without a hope, without a dream. Astral Authority will clean it up and go ahead and win the game.
Beautiful stuff coming out there in that final push. The great Ancient Rage bait. His timing is impeccable. Supersully knows exactly how to do it. He was kind of like, he's like, where is everybody?
I feel like
sees like the tip of like Victor's bangs and just snags him off the high ground.
I want to explain something too, because people were watching this. It did look like 2-2 on the screen, and so it actually what ended up happening was that the points got mixed up a little bit, and it was actually 3-2 because the defense didn't. It got mixed up basically, whoever won, and so that actually was the winning point for Astral Authority, and so they take the game ahead. And Nick, you were just mentioning, man, great game. So many different encounters there. Everyone's playing at their top level.
That could have gone either way, as we did see Astral Authority drop the previous point. So Xavier's know that they have the potential to take this point away from Astral Authority, and the post-game stats will hopefully tell us a little bit more of a story here. I'll be looking to see who topped the damage charts this time around.
That's right, and it seems that the big dog was Tooney, which is not a surprise. Victor doing a ton of damage. I am actually surprised at KingPac's numbers, because although he secured a lot of kills and died only 4 times, he was not near what Victor was able to output on Fish Market. And so seeing some trends there, you know, these AoE blasters, these long-range champs like Shaolin as well, having a lot of success on this map.
Yeah, 32,000 for the Ruckus. Not the ideal situation for PowTecH, I'm sure, but he was content to take it up. That's a situation where I think they were taking the Ruckus away from them more so than they actually wanted to play it themselves.
But it worked out. It worked out. And let's say
they got the W.
Let's head to the map screen and see exactly where they'll be working out next match. And look at that, Frozen Guard. That's where we'll be. No surprise there. It does seem to be the kind of iconic and requested Frozen map in terms of what Paladins has to offer in its variety. And so we're ready for the champion draft. Let's move into it and get this game underway.
Yep, so first pick this time around, gonna go over to Astral Authority. No surprise here, they're gonna probably take the Makoa again. I wonder if Xenosy would be able to take it away from them if they didn't snag it first time, but you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Makoa grabbed again, but the Bomb King not seeing the light of day today.
Truly not. The Bomb King has been a figment of the past, and it's unfortunate for you viewers out there, both on YouTube, on Twitch, Facebook, any other platform that you're watching, because Evulli, who we've been talking about so much on Evie and other champions like Shaolin, is one of the most fantastic Bomb King players we've ever seen, and I know that's a very popular champion. You'd be able to learn a lot, but it just hasn't shown up in the drafts thus far, Nick, and we'll see if this turns out to be one where they select it, but so far, Cassie, Evie, they're going to be going back, and I think the big story here is KingPac will be back on the Cassie, it seems.
Yeah, they get the Fernando, though. Astral Authority take it away from Xenosy. How do they respond? They've shown that they can play the Barrack. They've shown that they can play the Ruckus. Will they take them both? Drogos will do for now. Barrack hovered on Drogos, a really good answer to tanks, but the Immortal, obviously, a great counter as well.
The Immortal is a really good counter. Drogos is that counter to, obviously, Fernando when that Immortal is not up in the first point fight. No ultimates will be here, so a lot of times you have to look at, you know, what do these teams do just in terms of their raw potential. And Buck, he's got a lot of it, a ton of damage, currently still has that slow in his kit, which will be removed next patch, but for now, people are taking advantage of that, and getting onto those targets will be huge. Big story here for me, no healer on the side of Astral Authority, and a last pick healer for Xenosy.
Yeah, Astral Authority really don't show the propensity to pick up those healers too often. You know, they grab the Pip, I don't think, for his healing capabilities. I think more so for his ultimate, his evil mojo that he carries around with him. Drop bodies, no surprise, on Androxus, Supersully, where else? Evulli on Shaolin, Madman this time on Buck, and PowTecH showing his flexibility here. Now taking up arms is Fernando.
And on the side of Xenosy, you will see Tooney on Cassie, Exalotus on Barrett, Cacanuck on Evie, KingPac on the Drogos, and tinyFetus on Moldova. So a bit of an adjustment from what I had expected, and it does seem that KingPac will play Drogos, pick up Wrecker, and look to target those shields early on.
For Hi-Rez is coming out for Astral Authority here. They have a lot of great targets to put it on. Cassie Sustain is worth picking it up.
Barrick.
Hell, Healing Station is good. We got Flicker from Evie.
Wow.
All these targets have the ability to sustain themselves. First blood.
Oh my God.
Gonna be KingPac off the back of Supersully's hook between the cheeks.
Sully, stop it! You are doing this too effectively. This is too efficient. You have got to be
setting the bar too
He's
high.
a hook bot, dude. He's a hook bot. That's what it is. Sully just does not miss hooks. You can call him hacks. You can call him hooks. He hits it. Either way, you try to slice it. And this is iDropBodies barely escaping with his life. Some long-range shots doing some serious damage. And see you later, Cacanuck. Evie is just going to do so much damage to Evulli, and Madman returns the favor.
Yep, the ice block there to immune the heroic leap. I think the blink would have been the better option. Not only would she have avoided the heroic leap damage, but she wouldn't have put herself in the position to get her face blasted off coming out of that ice block.
It's never a good deal to get
Never where you want to be on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, face blasted off. That's not what I think
It's
about.
not at the top of my perfect Sunday.
No, definitely not. And even in the ice cream variety, it's not on the top of mine either. I got cherries on that one. And you see there, all of a sudden, the fire spits are so prime. And man, that was just a lucky interaction of two players just kind of trying to reposition after being knocked back, and so much damage gets done to that clump of groups and clump of people, and that is where KingPac is known to shine. Obviously, his ability to just deal damage on so many different champions. We've seen him on hit scan, we've seen him on projectile. You know, now we're seeing him on these long-range, slow-moving projectiles of Drogos, and this is pretty impressive.
Yep, gets that ultimate charge topped up. Dragon Punch available for this fight. Immortal is nowhere near charged up, sitting at 70% right now. He's getting in there, though, trying to get that charged up.
Nice.
Gonna be getting that kill, though. Madman taking credit for that one.
And he will get the credit, and he will get some credits for it, but he will go down thanks to Exalotus, who will return the
big
favor.
headshot.
Sully, that's not going to save each. Looked like he tried to headbutt him there, but it didn't work. The shell spin gets obviously
Never headbutt a dwarf.
unactivated after you die, and so he just goes back to base. That's the abrupt nature of that animation that you just noticed. But Evulli now looking to help his team zone. He has planted available. He's got a couple of shots available also. He's trying to find the way in to the secret door. He's going to withdraw and use that initial moment of stealth to get a free shot and put his opponent at a disadvantage. And this is actually huge. He's got one shot onto KingPac, who sees where he's at. A fire spit into this hole will hurt him. He can secure the kill right now if he wants to use it, but he doesn't end up doing so. And there it is. iDropBodies takes down Exalotus, but KingPac finishes the hunt onto Shaolin.
If the shield is available, they're continuing to roll this in. Dragon Punch is available. I think that this could be the closing power that Xenosy need to hold this defense. The respawns for
Nick,
Astro.
he got backdoored!
No way.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God, they didn't
bruh.
pay attention to PowTecH, and it gets backdoored. The payload gets converted, and now 2-0 is such a dangerous lead, especially for Xenosy, falling behind already 2-1.
Bruh. That is, that's a big no-no.
Expand on that, bruh.
That's, I'll try to, bruh. Basically, KingPac, it's weird that just happened for me, because I watched him keep such a good, close eye on Evulli. He peeled him out of stealth. He kept track of him the whole time. He took him out. He always had an eye in the periphery on this Evulli. He obviously saw the payload creeping its way under the bridge, KingPac, and he just turned away kind of willy-nilly. Maybe he assumed that the respawn's coming out from his team were going to do it. We don't know. Obviously, we're not in tune with the comms, but nonetheless, a big slip up here from Xenosy, giving Astral Authority a lot of margin for error in this game now.
A huge slip up, and now they're going to have to play perfectly. And starting it off with a missed Dragon Punch will not be the answer. And getting hooked out of the fire spit, which would have done so much damage. Sully, you are the man, and he is showing every person on Xenosy just why. He dies, but he has done what he needed to do. Although Xenosy have also, on the flip side, followed up with some great plays from Tooney and Cacanuck to save KingPac's error, to save Supersully's outstanding play, and give them a 97%, 100% advantage on the objective, and to get themselves back in this game.
That was very quick. They're down, but they are not out. They still have what it takes to get this game in the bag. 2 minutes remaining on the push, just rounding the first corner. Tooney finds Evulli here, and that's going to give them some room to get this thing rolling here as they move up into this first choke. They are going to be all spotted out. They know where everyone from Astral Authority is coming out from spawn in case anyone tries anything funny.
Funny business is not what these two teams are about. Astral Authority, they're about to win if they can push, if they can stop this here. We talked about the benefits of having that 2-0 lead. It's that if you stop this push, which is very easy, you typically have an advantage of doing so on these types of maps, you will now be 3-1 up and able to win off the next capture objective. Xenosy has no way of winning this round, and only next round if they do a capture and a push and win this round could they possibly win. So they're at a big disadvantage despite being at the temporary advantage here of being able to push this payload into a potential conversion. A minute and 18 seconds left though, Nick. Do they have enough time to kind of regroup here?
They do. They'll probably give it one, maybe two more tries. Here comes Exalotus around the end, but Blank has spotted out. He knows he's going to be isolated if he comes around the corner. Madman's got a beat on him, so does iDropBodies. They're going to take him, try and take him out. Exalotus is getting the first kill of that, taken out of the sky once again. KingPac, you know nowhere is safe for you when Sully is around. Evulli gets taken down before he can trade out with Cacanuck, though.
Tooney is on a rampage, a triple kill for Tooney, and he's gonna go and try and find another one. He is gonna get, no, not one more. Cacanuck will take the quadra away from him, but Tooney, the player we haven't talked about on the Hunter, the Huntress, that so often gets ignored and not focused in these fights, is doing so much consistent damage, taking out bodies, 1-2 shots, adding power to his reversal, but now he is in a very dire straits, and Exalotus, with the help of Tooney, is gonna go down. Take down PowTecH, but Madman here with the resurgence for Astral Authority is gonna help slay Tooney and tinyFetus, and Evulli taking down Exalotus will help end these fairy dreams that they had, and Xenosy will have their nightmare come true. 3-1 and game set point for Astral Authority.
Yeah, that is the big moment here for them. If you convert in that first round, they're in such a good spot to win here. A lot of master ridings coming out here. They want to get that favorable positioning right out of the gate. iDropBodies and Supersully have the speed boost to accompany and counter that. But Xenosy taking the good positioning there. They found the early pick onto iDropBodies here. Despite missing the Dragon Punch, they were able to capitalize off of the Dread Serpent, and every ultimate is available for Astral Authority here. So if they find value in all of these, it's gonna be tough for Xenosy to take this fight 2 ultimates down.
4 members of Xenosy with Master Riding. Positioning being favored here to the counter of 3 on Astral Authority. Madman, Evulli. They know they can be at the top of Evie's Winter Classic for 2 weeks in a row and retain their championship quality caliber play, but it's not gonna work with KingPac there. He's gonna find a double kill onto Evulli and Supersully, 2 mainstays of Astral Authority, and make that Exalotus, taking down Madman as well. And so Xenosy are looking strong, and they are not out, and they are ready to compete with whatever Astral Authority are throwing at them, but these hooks will keep coming. Can they keep performing?
The healing station doing a lot of work for Exalotus right now, but he's taken down by Supersully. Ice Storm available. Can they clean him up out of the ice block? They've done it so many times before. Evulli goes into Planet just to make sure that it happens. tinyFetus gets Madman taken out here. Already 40% charged on the Dragon Punch. A nice absorb with the shield. Here's the Immortal to keep himself alive for the time being. Members on the point. They take him out. Evulli going big. Astral Authority climbs north of 50%.
I love the decision. It didn't allow him to heal up, but it did allow them to buy enough time so that Evulli could get into position to kill KingPac beforehand. And he gets a great zoning kill. tinyFetus could go down here. He hasn't had the greatest of games with Moldova, but will he have the moment he needs now? now he could go down, and thanks to bodies, he will. The new addition onto Astral Authority proving to be a huge impact in this final fight. It looks like Madman is Supersully are going in on the final trial by error for Xenosy to send somebody into the damage, and the area is just so contested. The B for BM now comes out from Astral Authority, and the win for them at the finals of Evie's Winter Classic will be complete. They will go ahead and sweep this series 3-1 and take away any chance for Xenosy to challenge there right at the top.
Another 100 points for Astral Authority. Off the back of that Supersully hook, he didn't want the overtime coming through. Whether you're blinking, whether you're soaring, whether you're thrusting there, Supersully just can't miss. Astral Authority take the week 3-1.
Let's take a look at the standings now. And you'll see Astral Authority far and away with 200 points have secured their place at #1, at least for the time being. We'll see how they fare next weekend. And of course, Xenosy here will be in trouble. If Xenosy can...
We've got one more week of open bracket play. It's not mathematically possible for anyone to surpass Astral Authority at this point. So they are guaranteed to make it in to the finals week and test their hand once again against the Champions Circuit teams.
Well, that's what they wanted. That's what they're going to get. iDropBodies added onto this team with already a bunch of great players and superstars are now going to be able to test their mettle against the big boys waiting for them at the end of the week. I'm sure they'll still play, however, we never know. And of course, we will see some great action next weekend. So definitely don't go away. And Europe, I believe, is anything but secured at this point, given the fact a lot of new teams are coming through some rosters are being readjusted, reassembled. That's still up for grabs. So before we head off, that'll be the end of the broadcast today. I want to make sure you all remember there's a giveaway going on in both YouTube and on Twitch. For Twitch, you have to hit !giveaway, and that'll bring up the link. And then you go ahead. You don't have to hit it anymore. You don't have to spam it. Just hit the link in Gleam and enter your information there, and you will be able to get a chance to win 200 crystal codes, and we'll announce those in about 2 to 3 minutes. So make sure you do that now. In YouTube, don't do it. Go to the description, copy that through, and that's how you'll find that out. Next week, of course, we've got some great action. But during the week, where can you find Paladins? Right here, twitch.tv/Paladins, 24-hour channel. We help manage that. And, of course, we stream on ourselves. You can follow us on twitch.tv/Hi-Rez Pretty Air, and I'm twitch.tv/RainDay. We'll see you all very soon. Have a fantastic weekend. Watch the finale of Westworld. That's what we'll be doing.
Hey,
and as always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you all in the realm.